What's good, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Power After Hours, your favorite power podcast. Jeff and Chrissy here with you to recap and review Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, Season 1, Episode 8, The Cost of Business. What's up, Chrissy?
What's good, my friend? Happy to be back on another Monday.
Yeah. And ready to turn up with another fire episode. Shout out to everybody. I already see y'all getting it going in the chat. Thank you for joining us once again. Keep going crazy in the chat. This is the Power After Hours YouTube channel. Subscribe. Send us all the likes for everybody who's here, all the regular timers, first timers. Welcome to, if you're listening on the podcast, day ones. What up? So as always, we're going to start this off. Overall, what did you think about the episode?
Ooh, another heavy hitter. A lot of emotions, a lot of feels. Yeah, we knew coming in after last week's episode, we knew going into this one that it was going to be heavy for Juke. I didn't expect a lot of the things that did happen in the episode, but I will say that this show is flowing really, really well. Like, I love how they are handling these episodes. What did you think?
I loved it too. Like I've been on my toes with this show for the past few weeks, and I just feel like between a lot of different stuff I've been watching, there's been the same type of like revelations. Shout out to anybody who's watching or has watched The White Lotus on HBO.
Oh, I'm not watching that.
You
No.
you have to. It's mess on a whole nother level. It's like somebody took a brick of cocaine to the face and then just started writing the screenplay or the script for each episode. Like it's a fever dream, yo. It's
Child.
nuts. But I really enjoy some of the twists and turns that we have going on the show. So let's start off with Juke, who's been going through it. Who's
Ugh.
been going through it. You see her in the beginning talking about Nicole. Well, going up to I think that was St. Patrick's in New York, if I'm not mistaken, in by Wall Street in downtown. But she pulls up to Juke's funeral, and of course her parents ain't trying to see her there, and you know, more likely than not blame her for the death. What did you think about that scene?
Oh my God. Haley Kilgore acted her ass off in last night's episode. Like, she didn't say much, but the feelings like that she conveyed through just the crying, and like when she was in Nicole's room and the way she was touching the things, if you paid attention, you would see her hands were shaking. Just amazing acting from her. I felt bad that she's being blamed for the death though, because it really, if anything, she brought Nicole happiness. You know what I mean? It wasn't her fault that she was doing drugs. Did she put her in the position to do them? Maybe. I mean, she brought her to the showcase. She had the drugs in her backpack, but it wasn't her fault. So I felt bad that she was getting this rap for something that she didn't necessarily do. When you do drugs, it's your choice. You can't blame anybody else. So I just felt really bad for her. It was sad to see her in that state because we've seen her so positive and active and happy for the past few episodes. So to see her broken really tore me down.
It was painful to watch.
Yeah.
All those stages of grief, and she just looked like she was locked into the grief throughout the whole episode, from being kicked out of the funeral and walking away to waiting for the parents to leave so that she could break into the house and watch that recording of them at the karaoke or wherever that was, right?
Yeah.
And to think about it, she didn't have her own copy. That's why she was watching Nicole's over and over again. And even me, the whole time, I'm like, yo, you got to get out of there because they're
Right,
going to
girl.
come back anytime soon. But it felt like she was so grief stricken
She was.
that she couldn't move.
Yeah. She was broken for sure. Like, it was like she was in her own world. Like, it's she likely knew they were in the house, they had come back home, but when she was so like in her grief that nothing else mattered to her. So that was deep. Like, I will say, like, whoever wrote that, like, they've either been through a similar grief. But yeah, it was very, very emotional to watch her like that. And you could tell like the dad really didn't want to be mean to her. It was
Mm-hmm.
almost like he wanted to help her because he knew that she loved his daughter. It's really the mom that was on one because she refused to believe who her daughter really was.
Right.
So I just really feel bad for Juke because that's closure she's never gonna get.
The dad was the cool one after all because
Yeah.
he even was kind of towing the line between telling Juke, yo, you can't really be here
Mm-hmm.
because of the stigma around it, and then later on when he finds her in the house, like, yo, you gotta go, they're
Yeah.
on their way, you gotta go, because they called the cops and telling them that you gotta go. So you could tell that the father, while he was distraught as sad that they lost Nicole, he
Mm-hmm.
wasn't really putting that blame on
No.
Juke, really. He's even telling Laverne like she got a dip. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let me know, chat. Let me know what you think. If you watching after this in the comments, let us know what you think. Let's get to the comments, see what y'all talking about. What's up,
I will
Rainy?
say the cops showed up mad fast. I've
Yeah,
never known
if
cops to show up that fast.
well, look at the neighborhood they was in, right? St. Patrick's on 59th, but it looked like Trinity Church downtown. That's what I meant, Rainy. Yeah, Trinity, the one that's by Wall Street. So it kind of looked like that. If that wasn't what it was supposed to be, that's the location that it looked like they were shooting. What up, Tyrone? Jukebox is deep in grief throughout the episode because of the death of Nicole. Tasha showed fewer emotions over losing a child. Fair. You're not
Tasha had a lot
wrong.
going on though.
You're
Tasha
not
had
wrong. You didn't have to say that, but you're not wrong. But
leave
yeah,
Tasha
she was
alone.
going through it. And even the
Yeah.
physical acting that she was doing, it was legit heartbreaking to
Yeah.
continue to watch that over and over and over again. What's up, Ty? Dope of Kanan to say what he said to the parents. She loved your daughter, you know. And that's the
Yeah.
thing about Kanan, because Kanan in this episode was kind of like almost like the Watcher in this
Mm-hmm.
episode, where he was just involved in certain parts but wasn't really a focal point. But he kind of hammered home certain key beats. So he's the one who tells them, like, yo, like, y'all all know the vibes. She
Yeah.
loved her. Like, this wasn't anything to blame her for. And Kanan had her back, was ready to go with her wherever, but she needed to be alone. This is Power After Hours. See a lot of people watching. See a lot of people in the chat. New faces. Good to see you. Subscribe to this channel so that you can catch every time we go live. Set your notifications. You'll get that. You'll know when we're going live and every other thing that we produce, as we're on this quest to 1,000. So we can open this channel up, do more for you. Shout out to everybody who's listening on the podcast or watching this after the fact. We had a lot of people, like, we've been building this over 6 years for some of you who are here
Yeah.
for the first time. So this is our power party. This is our after party to the show. So good to see y'all. Don't make it your last time. Shoot us with some thumbs up if you love what you're hearing. Keep it going crazy, chat. You know it. You live. Toni, what's up? Her father appears to empathize with his daughter's heartbroken lover far more than Nicole's mother, which is not a surprise. Oh, you see it, because Nicole's mother is still in denial. And
Absolutely.
let's keep it real. It's easy to blame a black girl for what's going on instead of accepting your daughter for who she is.
Right.
Somebody had to make her do it, make her that way. You polluted her mind. And now it's all of a sudden your fault, as opposed to thinking, yo, maybe that's just what it is. And
Yeah.
thinking about how stigmatized the LGBTQ community and just being gay was at that time. You know, you'll see other dads, we talk further throughout the episode, how different ways in the way it rears its ugly head. You know what I loved about Juke's arc this episode? How when she was speaking to Kanan after she got arrested and then subsequently let go by Burke. Burke is the one who put out that call. Burke is the one that put out that call to let her go because she's a person of interest, right? We're gonna talk about that later on. Keep y'all hats on to say what your theories are on that. But that conversation that she had with Kanan, where she shows him the blue cap vial, right?
Woo.
And Kanan is like, yo. Kanan is starting to learn throughout everything that he went through in this episode. He's starting to learn. He's like, yo, I don't even got nothing to say. I don't even got nothing to say anymore because it is what it is. And Juke had a fire line where she said, it isn't our fault. It's out here.
Yep.
She, in essence, blamed Southside and their upbringing and everything they went through that put them in the position. So kind of having that sense of awareness where she could be to blame for putting it in her backpack. He could be to blame for cutting it and making it and putting her in a position to take it. But it's the life they live that is claiming other lives around them.
It's heartbreaking when you think about it. Like I actually felt for her in that scene because she wasn't going to blame Kanan. She didn't even blame herself. And I think when you're going through grief with something like that, a lot of the time you do blame yourself. That's your first instinct. What could I have done differently? What could I have changed? But she realizes at this young age that it's not an actual person's fault. It is where they are. It is the system that they've been, built up in. So I feel really bad for her. And I actually thought she was going to be legit upset with Kanan, knowing that it was his that went in her bag, but she had no ill will towards him, despite the fact that it was his drug that killed her girl. So
right.
I will say Juke is probably the most mature person on this show, but I will also say that I think Kanan is starting to learn that his actions have consequences, real consequences.
All it took him was 8 episodes, right? But we here now, son. We here now. Shout out to King Hova 21, finally able to catch this live listening on Spotify since Power Season 1. Let me get you up. Yo, that's an OG right there. And I'm glad that you were able to catch us live. Shout out to you. Let me see. It says something. I want to shout out some of the newer people that joined. Nick P, what's up? Nick started watching this show during Power Book 2. You guys are fire. Thank you so much, Nick. Thank you. Y'all ignite the flame that makes us fire, because without y'all contributing, the show would be corny. You know what I'm saying? So it's just whack. What it is. And Chrissy and I talk about it before. We love the fact that we can talk to you directly during this live stream and answering questions after. And we still do take questions, powerafterhourspod@gmail.com, for those who don't watch online. But you still should subscribe anyway and support us. But we do take that. But it's great to get that with y'all live. What's up, Michelle? An affluent teen dying from crack cocaine overdose does not fit into the picture perfect life Nicole's mother has created. So true. There is nothing to argue with that. Good brother Mars, what's up? I'll never hear 2 occasions the same again. Man, that rattled me. Like I can't even look at it like it's like instant tears when you think about it and all the heartbreak that she goes through. Which again, Chrissy, we think about it. If this isn't what flips her to become the person that she is, what would it be?
I don't know, but you did bring up the whole Burke situation, and I feel like now Burke has got a one up on her. You know what I mean? She's got something on her to say, yo, you owe me. But I feel like right now Juke is so broken that nothing really is going to phase her. I want to know what is going to potentially bring her out of this funk, because you can't be in grief forever. So I'm hoping that something actually brings her out.
Yeah, for sure. You and me both, because that is a wild struggle for real. What up, Roz? When they played the tape from the mall, I felt emotions through the screen. Yeah. It was super powerful. And happy belated birthday, by the way, Roz. You came off you tried to sneak that in towards the end and we didn't catch it, but we shouted you out. Happy birthday to you. Birthday month it up and all of that. You already know the vibes. Oh yeah, let's go here. What's up, Al? For Jukebox and Kanan's sake, it's a good thing that the Binghams didn't tell the police about the blue cap lethal drugs.
But
something tells me it could possibly get out, but it all does depend on what happens with Howard and Rock's whole situation, right? So I think about the title of this episode, The Cost of Business, right? Yeah. Those blue caps have cost almost everyone in this show. That one decision and that one business decision has had ripple effects throughout the entire landscape of raising Kanan, right?
Damn
So
Kanan.
you think about you think about how it affected, first of all, how it affected Jukebox.
Yeah.
She lost Nicole. And I before I go, we can get to that. I'm gonna go into Rock in a second. But why do you think Burke had them release her?
Well, we know that her and Burke have stuff in common, right? Like they've already kind of had that conversation where she felt like she could relate to her. I feel like Burke is maybe using this situation as a, well, I'm going to need a favor from you at some point, or I'm going to need some type of information that only you can give me. She knows how close her and Kanan are. So eventually, I feel like Burke is using this as her as her way to get above, because we know Detective Howard isn't really telling her everything. So she's got to have her own like CI type situation. And I feel like she's going to be able to get that from Juke. What did you think?
Yeah, I can see that she has another informant. What if Burke is the reason Juke becomes a cop?
Now that's something.
Somebody
Yeah.
who they have similar things in common. Like Burke kind of alluded to the fact that she might be a lesbian also,
Right.
or LGBT in the LGBT Q plus community, right? She might be lesbian, or she's vibing with her on those levels. Like, I know exactly, what you're going through type situation. So maybe she sees something in Burke that eventually sparks her idea to become a cop and work from the inside and still use her moves of finesse in order to do that, right? So,
Hey.
yeah. It's speaking of the cost of business,
Uh,
it's cost Rock a hell of a lot, right? First, or before we get into that, chat, let me know what you thought about Gabriel finally getting what he was asking for from Rock's gun. I was about to call you Juliana. Chrissy, what's
ah,
up? Chrissy, what'd you think about that?
you mean Trilliana?
Nah.
Yeah, sis. I love Trilliana. Okay, sis she knew what she had to do. She played her role well last night. We all knew that he had it coming. Okay, he has been putting his hands on that woman for one day too many. I didn't know how it was going to happen. I thought maybe she was going to end up doing it and asking Rock to help her.
Mm-hmm.
But with her leading him out there to that shed, and Rock just like pow pow, like took him clean out and told her how to handle it. Not only did she like, I feel like she had it was done it so well that she did it before. Like she was prepared. She shed the tears. She was ready. The cops believed her story apparently.
A little too
Um,
good, right?
it was too good. Like, sis, you done been through some stuff before. I don't know. But I knew he had it coming. This guy it was only a matter of time. He kept putting his hands on her. He also kept trying Rock. He didn't respect Rock. You know what I mean? For him, it was all about the money. So I'm glad that they finally ended up getting rid of him. And now she can do business with, Liliana, and they can move forward and hopefully build a relationship at some point. Like, not that type of relationship, but business working relationship where when she needs something in terms of that store, they can work together.
Yeah, and part of that was, yeah, Rock was fed up, completely fed up
Mm-hmm.
about what was going down with Juliana, but she also wanted to get in good with her cousin,
Yeah.
the new Connect Uptown, right? She wanted to get in with him, so this was like a show of good faith. But them damn motherfucking blue caps, shaking shit up. My man, they had another meeting,
Woo!
where homeboy let him know, we saw you with Detective Howard. So what are you gonna do? Like, what are you really trying to do? Where she was trying to hold it down, Rock was trying to hold it down, not to let him know I'm the one who took care of that for your cousin. But
Right.
then had to reveal that once they started pressing her out. And that goes back to the other way that she got exposed, right? Is Howard and Burke find these bodies all over Southside. Burke really wants answers.
Yeah.
Howard has an idea of what's going to happen. So they shake down homeboy from Queensbridge and he tells him that it was Kanan. his
Yeah.
son. So he goes
Unbelievable.
and presses out Rock. What did you think about that?
Man, goddamn. I hate that now again he has a one up on Rock. Like I feel like now he's gonna be able to get what he wants out of the deal because now he knows it was Kanan. Kanan got to be the dumbest person. I feel like every decision he makes comes back to haunt him and his mom in some way. Like, and what's crazy is he always thinks he's doing the right thing. And it's like, bruh, you keep fucking up. But I love that I love how Rock handles Howard. You know what I mean? Like I feel like she's never pressed. Even when, the connect came at her with all those guns, you didn't see her flinch. You ain't see her back down. She stayed calm, collected, and still delivered her speech about what she was doing. So Howard clearly knows what he needs. He needs Kanan. If that's his son, he needs him to survive. So I'm assuming at some point that is going to come up. But at this point, Kanan is at the mercy of Howard. Like they're going to have to do whatever he requests so that Kanan doesn't end up in jail.
Word.
But how do you keep Burke off of it? That's my question.
That's the question. And I think Burke is probably calling that ISO play for herself, and working her own way, knowing that Howard isn't going to really do it or involve herself. What y'all saying in the comments? What you're saying in the comments? Let's see. Aiden, what's up? As usual, Rock doesn't fall under pressure. Joaquin is impressed once she reveals that he is responsible for killing Gabriel.
Yeah.
Right. Oh yeah, we definitely gonna get to that. I'm seeing what y'all see it. What's up, Dale? She works closely with Juliana to kill her abusive husband. It was clear that the bodega store owner would be a problem since they began working together. And now Rock is probably gonna deal directly with Juliana. Doesn't even really have to fool with Gabriel anymore, and still has that relationship with the stash house, right? So I thought it was ill because once they found out and he went and pressed her, he now has that one up where he's like, yo, I want to meet my son. You know what it is. But Rock, within this whole thing with her getting exposed, she hit us with two major revelations in the show.
Bruh.
First, and we could get into this because our chat, if this is the first time you hear, you need to be in the chat because the chat be calling it. The chat be having these conversations. They be calling it. We had this conversation about DEF CON versus Howard and how did that timeline build out? So clearly it seemed that Howard was the father, but we were breaking down the age differences the other week. And all right, so what happened? We find out in that conversation. She tells him when they're going back and forth, where he's like, "Yo, you didn't have a problem pushing up on a 16-year-old." He's like, "Yo, you told me you were 17." So that was it's even how wrong do you want to be? You just want to be a little wrong. You don't want to be whole wrong, right? So he knew her age and still pushed up on her. Then,
because he thought she was messing with DEF CON, so he was like, "You messing with? Are you already messing with a grown dude?" So he was like, "Well, let me try my thing too." And then we find out that second revelation.
Right. Well, that was I would say that was the first revelation. Jamal has it. Let me drop it on the screen. Gave Gabriel 5, told Kanan how bad he was fucked up, and gave a new left term left-handed. Funny enough, that term left-handed is currently trended in our chat. Funny enough, and of course the reveal is that DEF CON was actually on the down low and hired Rock to keep up appearances so that nobody would suspect him. So when she had the kid, it looked even better for him. So he could be like, "Yo, I had a kid and I'm going away for a while, so nobody's ever going to be the wiser." One thing, that term is a very, very old school term. It's like a super old school term. You don't really hear it anymore. But when she said it, I was like, wait. I paused for a second. I was like, hold up. Y'all not saying what I think you say. And then when she was like, yo, and you don't even to say, I was like, oh, he was a fairy. And she was like, yeah, and he was 10 times the man, 10 times the man you are.
Woo!
10 times the man you are. So there's still a lot of animosity there, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But what is it that made them like okay, so now we know he was also undercover, right? So he was working undercover at the time as well. Like what is it that made her hate him so much to the point where she never even wanted to tell him that he had a son? Like you got to be there's got to be something to make you not want to tell a man that he's got a child out there, whether or not it was, and maybe it was because he was undercover. She found out he was undercover after DEFCON ends up getting, put in jail. That could be what it was. Maybe that's what she was alluding to. But damn, like that was his son. That's fucked
Yeah.
up.
Well, I think that was part of the whole like back to back extortion, right? Where she was like, yeah, if you let the streets know that you are Kanan's father's a cop, you might as well put the bullet in his head himself. And he's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, I could tell the streets you'll be looked at as a snitch, and that's where
Yeah.
that whole static with Joaquin came from. Just even being seen with him talking one on one, right? So it's like, yo, you gonna be a snitch. He's gonna be dead already. I want to see my son, and he straight up said, "I will shoot first if you try to do some funny shit and send
With
one of
his
your
brothers."
brothers, right?" So that's what it is with them, where he kind of already knows the vibes, and he feels like he has that big joker to play, where she's gonna have to do this or else, right? And
Yep.
she's completely fed up at this point and presses Kanan and Marvin about it. And it's funny when you know your family, right? Marvin even said, like, yo, Marvin said if she finds out, she might not kill you, but I'm definitely dead. And
Yeah.
Kanan was like, she always finds out. She always
Always.
finds out. So even when you see him doing the pull-ups and she comes in and Kanan, Elijah, Stark, get down
His
here. He
full
already knew what it
name.
was. He was just like,
God damn.
who found out? What did you think about their confrontation?
Man, oh man, oh man, that was something. She knocked him into next week. That's what I do know. And he had it coming. Kanan, he's still young and makes really dumb decisions. And a lot of times I'm so frustrated with him, but I have to remember he's a teenage boy.
Right.
This is what you do when you're a teenager. You do dumb shit and you think you're doing the right things, right? So her coming at him and giving him the real, she drops it on him like, you got D Wiz killed. You're going after and making a decision on your own without discussing it with your family. Ended up getting your best friend killed. And I actually thought that Kanan kind of suspected that his mom had something to do with it, but from the look he gave right then and there, he had no clue.
He got the
He
shit
ain't know.
smacked out of him. Then he got told that his mom's killed his best friend because streets needed a body.
Streets
And they
needed
were
about
and,
it.
she chose him over D Wiz. Why? And she broke it down, which was straight facts, right? She's been cleaning up his messes this entire series.
Yep.
Started out with killing Buck 20, then all the shit with the stash house. Then now he's cutting crack with fentanyl and killing people in the street. So she's had to pay the price every time he's messed up. And he comes through on some very like super swell chested, telling her, you made me this way. You're the reason. You got to blame yourself. And let him know straight up, you really not built for this. Really not built for this. So she takes it out on him, then goes up to Marvin and literally slaps him upside the arm with a 2x4 and essentially kicks him out of the family business, and low-key the family too.
Yeah, the family too. And you could see the pain in his face when it was like he knew she had to do it, but he hated that she actually did it. You understand? Because he had this look in his eyes like, I get it. All right, I'm out. But it hurt him for that to happen. And I feel for Marvin because I feel like Kanan is a lot like him in the fact that like they just do instead of thinking it through. They don't really make plans for anything. And it's unfortunate that Marvin keeps making these mistakes.
Right.
And trusting Kanan, knowing that he's a 16-year-old boy. Why are you trusting him anyway? But yeah, I felt bad for him in that point because you never want to be excommunicated from your family. Like I felt bad for the kid. He didn't deserve that, but he did deserve to learn a lesson.
He learned it. He learned it 100%. If not, he got the shit smacked out of him to correct. Shout out to Jordan. When Rock smacked Kanan, nigga felt like when Melvin hit Jody.
Bro, what?
Very much so.
And she also told us a lot about why Marvin went to jail too.
Oh yeah, that was another revelation, right? That Marvin became a user. He was the supplier and the user, and went to jail when Kanan and Juke were kids, and that's why they don't. That is the reason why they don't trust him with any, or she doesn't trust him with anything, was because he's unreliable and he's messed up many times. You could even see it when that scene with him, where she's like, "Yo, Rock, I'll clean up, I'll do this, I'll do that," and she's just straight tired of hearing it, and all that she can't stand no more. Marvin is out of there. Let's see what y'all talking about in the chat. Mark Hosey, full government. Word. Getting over. That scene really hit hard because that's real life shit between parents and kids.
Hell yeah. When your full name get called, good luck.
Word. Another black experience. What's up? Rock is toxic, just like all the mamas in the Powerverse. I mean, they do all have a sprinkle of toxicity. I cannot front. Let's see. Robert Lawrence, the junkie bribe scene was my favorite scene. Yo, that shit was hilarious. Where my man was like, "Yo, D-Tech, I ain't using a month." He said he'd been cleaning the whole 30 days, but because he got supply, he called Burke. What do you call her? Hojack.
He called her something. He was like, "Oh, that's a good one."
He called the Hojack. Yo,
I was like, "That's actually a good one. I would pay you for that."
That whole scene had me screaming because he gets all the money. He's like, "Now you see what you did. Now I'm back off the wagon because they supplied it, right?" So
riled me up.
Yo, those are the little scenes. Those are the little scenes that I love in this, to where they're able to always bring it back and give you those little tidbits to build within the universe. So it's like, this is what's happening, where it may not be a super prominent thing, but they're showing you how they get their information. Let's see. I saw something good. Let me see if I could pull it back up. That y'all said. Power After Hours. Subscribe to the channel. Hit us up with mad likes. If you're on the podcast, if you listen on audio, subscribe wherever you get these podcasts. If you're watching this later in the comments, go crazy in the comments. We answer afterwards. Love that you are chilling with us and joining us every week. I thought this was hilarious. Black Bleach. Why is Marvin's strategy whenever someone is in imminent danger to always crash a car?
Every single time.
Yo, you would think he's a used car salesman. The way he just gets rid of cars and has a new one every week. It kind of reminds me of Tommy, the last season of Power. When Tommy, after his original car got broken down, he had a new car every week.
But can you imagine what his insurance is? Because that nigga been in 2 car crashes in less than a month.
Why you imagining he has insurance? Come on now.
Facts.
Ty, what up, Ty? Side note, why were the strippers dancing to Bobby Brown's My Prerogative, though? I was too young for that, but I guess that might be a you had to be there moment.
That was the jam, bro. My prerogative.
Do what I want to do.
It's my prerogative. Come on now. Bobby was dancing in that video. You hear me? Y'all some haters.
Yo. Now I can't get that out of my head that they was dancing to my he was. But let's talk about Marvin getting kicked out of the business, going to Toni to get a quick smash on. Then we see Toni keeps trying to get him to say why he's asking her for money. He's pressing her for money. He won't say. And it turns out she's trying to get him trapped. She got a wire on him and is trying to get him popped because she got caught with drugs.
Yeah, got caught with the intent to distribute. That's never a good look. And they clearly are after her ass. And to the point where, like, I wanted Marvin to realize that she kept asking the same question over and over again. Like, Ghost would have known that he got made in some way. Like, when you keep asking the same question, you look guilty. What do you need for me to answer that question for so bad? Right. Like, and I wanted Marvin to pick up on that, but I think he was so I guess, distraught over being kicked out the family and then, not getting the money from her. So he was just like, fuck it. And he left. But
Right.
then we see good old Fed in the background listening,
Oh, let's
ready.
talk about it. Let's talk about it because I got my man here. What's up, Natate? Natate with this comment. Oh shit, Symphony is low key rock soldier now. Him hearing his boss trying to rat out Marvin and shit got feeling Marvin gonna get more smoke from Rock. Yes, Symphony overheard this attempted sting. So when he tells her next week, y'all fed theories is gonna go down the drain, right?
No, it's not.
I just want y'all to know that. Just prepare yourself because there's no reason Rock Thomas has feds following her.
Really?
Symphony, a good man, not a snitch.
You got Toni over here trying to get them wrapped up in some shit.
The real snitch, the real leader of the CMB. Toni D. The real leader. The educated sister from the club.
So he just happens to be working the one night that's going on. We ain't seen
He works
Symphony
every night. What do you
mean? We ain't seen Symphony in that club since episode 2.
It's been the weekend.
It's ain't been no damn weekend.
He can't work part-time. He's a bartender, not security.
Come on, bro. So how many jobs he got? He a bartender. He's a teacher. He dicking her down. That's a job. Like, come on now.
I mean, maybe he's Jamaican. Who knows? He might have 15 jobs.
Oh, here we go.
Jason, what's up, Jason Martin Jr.? The writers thus far have done a great job tackling a ton of complex real-life street politics, such as the need for a hyper-masculine image and the connection between the drug game / the music industry.
Yeah.
Yes. And we can get to that. I'm going back into these comments. Like I said, this is Power After Hours Live. You got to be here. Tap into the comments. Ask what you want. We answer in live time, and we got the chat going crazy. Everybody talking in there. Giving their topics, giving all of that because we have a lot. It's the live power party. All right.
Oh, what's up, Australia?
Where Australia at? Where you see Australia at?
We got Eunice. Is it Eunice? Oh, she said, OMG, I made it to the live showing love from Australia. What's up?
Shout out Eunice / Eunice. It's no disrespect. Oh, I see ya. What up, Australia? What's going on? Love all the way. Oh, well, what is it, like noon over there? Shout out. Good morning, good afternoon, all the way from Australia. Thank you for joining us, for real, Eunice. Don't make it your last time. Yo, you see, Power After Hours, live and worldwide, baby. You gotta be here.
Everywhere.
You gotta be here. What up, Trey? Rock probably had the same situation go on with Detective Howard. It would be a shame for the same to happen twice. You almost made me bite my lip talking about it was shame for the same. It was shame for the same. I can't even say that. I can't even say it again. What up, Aiden? Let me tap in with Aiden's style. There's a consistent theme in each episode with Kanan's character. His mother is always forced to clean up after his mess, and as we have witnessed, you can't hide shit for Rock. She has Super Saiyan Black Mama powers. Okay, the information flows to her. She is the super highway of information. And one way or another, what you do is going to come to light.
Period. But the thing about it, too, that I love is that everyone thinks she's never going to find out. Like, somebody always tips her and tells her what happened. When Kanan got arrested, old dude told her. Like, she always finds out. You cannot hide anything from her, which I don't understand why people even try anymore. Why try?
At this point, it is futile. Let's tap back in. Tyru, what up? Symphony may be 5-0, but he's in too deep with Rock and gonna give it a drop. Yo, I promise you, I will apologize to everyone in the chat. And on this episode, I will take as much time as y'all want for me to apologize if Symphony is actually undercover. I promise you he's not. I promise you. I promise you.
Prepare it.
I have my writers on it. You know what I'm saying? I have my writers on it. Black Bleach, what's up? It's a power trope. Every man who sleeps with a mama in the PCU dies. Power Cinematic Universe. I love it, yo. Tasha, Sean, Silver, Ghost. How you count Ghost? That was his wife. Nah. Bonet, Detective Ramirez, Rock, Howard from Cancer. Yo.
Oh, you done predicted Howard already. You ain't shit, boy. He's still
Wait,
alive.
no, let me tell you what the savage part is. You put Ghost. That was his
And
wife, fam. Like she wasn't a mama before he met her. Like you can't count. Like kind of Ghost is nasty behavior, yo. That shit is nasty work. That is wild. That is
y'all is
so
wild
wild.
tonight.
But yo,
Woo.
I remember uh someone in the comments had said earlier was talking about the combination between the themes that they hit, including like the music and drug industry. Then we get to Lulu, who flipped his investment into
Smart.
Crowd's business into an equity stake, making them 50-50 partners. And I loved how he rolled up with a lawyer and a gun.
Yes.
A lawyer and a gun. You getting strong armed by both spectrums of the law to sign this contract because you could not pay your debt off in time.
Couldn't pay your debt. The man is broke. Let's keep it 100.
Facts.
He is literally robbing Peter to pay Paul. He is broke. He waits until money comes in. He probably blows it on drugs instead of paying his bills. So at this point, I feel like Lulu did the smart thing. Lulu actually played this out very, very well. He didn't, from the beginning, jump in and be like, yo, this is mine, knowing he had to pay all these bills. He gave him the chance to redeem himself and pay off the money, but he couldn't even do right by that. So the Crowd got some nerve to act like he's all in charge, knowing damn well he ain't doing nothing really. So I was actually proud of Lulu for doing that part because it's what needed to happen for him to have a stake in this industry, because clearly it's what he loves and wants to do.
Come get your friends in the chat. Shout out to Jamal and everybody else calling him Lou Knight. Yo, at this point, Crown was gonna get hung over the banister over the corner, the ceiling by his ankles, over the balcony, getting hung over by his ankles. At this point, yo, he really pressed them out. Like, you coming to death row one way or another. Lulu Records, LLCMB. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Southside Entertainment. Get down or get laid down. That's a rap. It's a fact.
Rubbing his hands together, bro.
Birdman hand rub. Or you get the dub. You heard? That's just what it is. Ty said it. Ultimate check weight. One way or another, something of yours is gonna be on this paper.
Facts.
Yo, he really was. And funny enough, I mean, let's keep it real. There's a lot of illicit money in the music game anyway. So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of those stories are closer to reality than they are to fiction. You know what I mean? But this is what he wanted, and he's diversifying his stake. Where now he's getting 50% of everything. Yo, it wasn't a grant, it wasn't a subsidy, it was a loan. And if Crown would have paid that back, you know, he would have been straight. But Lulu was getting pressed from all areas. First, Rock pressed him about the meeting with Unique, right? Where he's like, yo, he tried to get you to flip. Lulu said straight up, I'll be in the ground still flying my flag, right? I'm not going to flip. Even caused him that seed where Unique parks at the hotel and he runs up to steal Unique's jacket out of his car.
Yeah. What do you think he did that for?
I don't know if it was payback or whatever. I don't know if y'all in the chat have an idea why he took that why he took the jacket. I want to say maybe he was just being a dick. Maybe it's something that we missed that I can't remember, but you know, everybody in the chat usually is on it, but I think he was just I think he saw him and just was like, yo, I'm a fuck with him. Yeah, shout out to y'all Luar Cohen, ASAP Lou. He's like, yeah, I ain't no bank, nigga. No, he ain't no bank. And he let him know. So, you know, he got pressed about that and stood his ground. And that's what Rock always wants to see him like stand on his own too.
She does.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he showed her that. That's why she told Marvin, give all your work to Lulu and you're done, right? Then you got what you call it? Not Juliana, Famous's sister.
What is her name?
Pressing him. I'm gonna tell you in 1 second.
She was getting on my nerves.
Jessica.
She was getting on my nerves.
Jessica. She was pressing him about Famous getting on. And you know, he wasn't even really feeling Famous like that to begin with, because Famous didn't try to put him on with his sister. Right. So now he's like, yo, I ain't gonna hold this dude down because he hated. And he's not even trying to listen to dude. So he's having that little bit of static, right? And finally, because Unique, we talk about the cost of doing business, right? Unique sees the blue caps. He puts it on Rock. He says, yo, he believes she's purposely trying to ruin his business. So they finally ready to take the shot. And they do it when they run up in Lulu's crib, firebomb, shoot it up. And we leave the episode with him passed out, probably due to smoke inhalation. Shout out to Crash Test Dummy Marv driving his car in. Although that one I do understand because
he was getting shot at.
He was getting shot at, but he comes in and we don't know if he makes the save, if he saves his brother or not. But it's looking grim, right? And that's how we end.
Well, to me, I would feel like, if Lulu is dead, it leaves Rock in a really precarious situation because you kicked Marvin out of the family and now you're going to be left with no one but him. So you've got to figure out how to make that work. And then they give us previews where Lulu ain't in not a damn scene. So I'm like, dang, is Lulu gone? But they never really showed him get shot. They showed him go down from the smoke.
Right.
But would you go down that fast from some smoke?
I mean, he got firebombed, for those of you who have ever played Grand Theft Auto or The Last of Us, that fire goes up quick. They threw 2 firebombs and the firebombs just happened to hit that where he was sitting and where he could have got out. Then they riddled it with bullets. So I ain't no fireman or nothing like that. Like, I can't tell you what the smoke, but I know they usually say like that smoke inhalation is what kills people before the actual fire. Now, what helped him was that he was low. Yes. That's the other thing where they tell you, I remember Stop, Drop, and Roll. And then they also remember, you're supposed to crawl low in a fire so that you avoid all of that. But when he came out, like his face was like full of soot.
Marvin's was soot too. Yeah, it was very dark. So I'm like, damn.
I'm sure that works when you don't know where the fire is and you're just trying to crawl out. If you're in the middle of the fire, I don't know how much that works, right? Also, shout out to him. Let me tee up. What's up, Kimberly? Maybe he is planning to plant it somewhere so he gets caught up with the cops. We definitely will see. Black Bleach, he was going to frame Unique for killing someone. Remember, Rock called him and said, batter up, but he was listening to the Isleys. Imagine you got caught lacking listening to the Isleys, drinking some Henny, yo.
Had his hands both sprawled out on the couch. Bro was chilling.
Nah, Lulu was a whole vibe until Unique killed this vibe and tried to kill him. You know what I'm saying?
He took that jacket for a reason because it seemed like he was staking him out. So I'm with you on that. I think there definitely was a reason behind it. So we just don't know what that was yet because obviously Unique is one step ahead of Rock at this point.
Right. So we see that at the end. We're going to get back. Shout out to everybody watching Power After Hours. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Set your notifications. Continue to join us so every week you're with the Power fam. We cover the entire Power universe. We got you on audio. We got you on video. We got you everywhere. Let's see. Y'all talking a lot. Let me.
We still got to talk about Davina too.
Michelle says, Chrissy, do you think Lulu stole Unique's jacket to set him up for the murder of Marvin because this blue top involves both him and Kanan?
Ooh, you guys are just some shady people. Man, y'all gonna have him kill his own brother? Damn! I would hope Rock wouldn't do that. I mean, I know Marvin messed up, but is it enough for you to have him killed by his own brother? I mean, I don't want to think that Rock is that ruthless. Marvin didn't sell them out. He didn't rat out to the cops. There's really no reason for you to kill him at this point.
Right. I'm not really sure about that. Shout out to Eunice talking about Jessica. I smell trouble from her. She gonna get the bag by any means necessary and will use and switch to get it.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
I mean, I can't hate. She's all about her family, but at what cost is it going to be to everyone else? Greenfly, what's up? What's up? Can we talk about Davina's mom being dead for a month now? Lion Ass Unique said he got her into rehab. What did you think about that, Chrissy?
That was sad. I to know that Davina, like every time that we saw her on screen or Kanan was with her, that she was taking care of her sister this whole time, not knowing that her mom was dead. Like that's really sad. And not only that, now they're both in foster care. So I'm like, will we ever even see? When will we see Davina again? At this point, she's not old enough to be out on her own. So,
Right.
but I did love the neighbor coming up and saying it's for the best. They can't be here by themselves, which is true. But at this point, we all know foster care is not the best situation probably for them either.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I feel bad for Kanan that he lost someone he cared about, but still doesn't know that she's a rat. But I also feel bad for Davina because to know that your mom has been dead for a month now, that's just sad. It's
Right,
sad.
and then you get put in the system on top of
Yeah.
that, which is a double whammy. All right, we
Yeah.
we we talking Chad is talking heavy Lulu right now. Let's go in. Tyru, 20 seconds of smoke inhalation is enough to cause respiratory damage. Yeah, and that
Wow.
man was in there for a minute, so
Yeah.
he's definitely on the 50-50 side of whether he's living or dying. Black Bleach, if Lou is dead, who gets his royalties?
Y'all.
Rock gonna get them one way or another. Put it to you like that.
Y'all already talk about the man ain't even 6 feet in yet, y'all.
That's why you need a will. That's why he should have had a will. But a lot of dudes in the hood ain't really writing wills like that. Maybe it's in the lawyer paperwork. That shit was like
I
50
was gonna
stacks.
say the way that lawyer pulled up, bruh, and didn't even flinch when the gun came out. That lawyer done been through some things. You hear me?
Man,
Yeah.
drop that stack. Drop the stack of the and Tate. And Power, you only die when a bullet hits you. Remember, Kanan got out of a burning room in season 2 of OG Power. But that's when his X gene kicked in and he was able to regenerate like Wolverine. I don't know if Lulu's if that was passed in the family, maybe Lulu got the same gene.
I'm like, man, what song was playing? Maybe there's something hidden in the song that tells us what happened to Lulu. I don't know. You know they be leaving little clues and shit.
Chrissy,
I hope Lulu
please.
isn't dead. I don't want Lulu to die. Lulu is good, people. He good.
Al says, though they've been bickering through the entire season and can't really stand each other, Marvin shows up for his brother. Nah, that's real. Because he was going to drop off the work and then saw what happened and was just like, got him out, saved him. If he's alive, his brother saved him. So, that's what it is. Shout out to Mars and Rainey who says, footsteps in the dark, that was a sign. Yeah, that's one of the ones. You right, Black Bleach. It's one of the ones. Trey D, she said, batter up, time to take out the trash, but who was he supposed to kill? I think it was Howard. Because remember in the meeting with Joaquin when he was like, how do I know that situation is just business as you said? Because she tried to claim that Howard was on the payroll. And he's like, how do I know that you need proof? And she was like, all right, if I get you your proof, are we good? Yeah. All right. So I'm thinking.
So that's why he got the jacket.
Right. And Lulu wasn't trying to hear nothing from Rock. That's why he's like, I'm off tonight, Rock. And sent her the voicemail where he could say that he wasn't in the house and got in late and just heard the message and thought he would hit her tomorrow. So it's not like texting and calling and slacking and sending emails where you're like, I know you saw that shit. And read receipts. There was no read receipts in the 90s, bit.
No, she pulled out that thick phone though, boy. When she was on that phone, I said, "Ooh, that's an old school phone, the kind that got 3 flips." Like it was huge. But I love that. But maybe now that you're saying that, maybe he did get Unique's jacket to frame him for the murder of Howard, because you touch a cop, they not gonna ask no questions.
That's a fact. Ty says, look like Marvin Rock were in a church in the next episode trailer. I hope it wasn't Lulu's funeral. Yeah.
It could be, but it could be a hospital church too. I thought about that. They could be in the hospital church.
Yeah.
So it could be alive.
Jamal says, have y'all gone back to watch Jukebox Season of Power since watching this show? I haven't.
I haven't yet.
I haven't. I'm going to keep it real. I got to watch a lot of stuff. So I don't really go back to a lot of old seasons of shows, to be honest. I may do that in the future just for shows in general, because especially gearing up for like new seasons of shows, like skimming through like some episodes in old seasons. But I'm not really the rewatch, the TV show rewatch person personally.
I am. I rewatch everything. I've rewatched Schitt's Creek probably 6 times. So yeah, I will rewatch a show, but I have not gone back and watched that. But I have a feeling I probably should, because I feel like there's a lot of things that probably would add up if we did.
Exactly. Well, yeah, that I think that does it for us. We don't got checking the comments. It seems like everybody's locked in another episode. We got 2 more left in this season. We
Yeah,
got
that's
2 more
it.
left, and that's it. So I believe what it was today, the 13th.
Yeah.
So let me check the calendar right now.
So the
So yeah, the
27th would be the last
26th,
episode.
the 26th should be the last
26.
the finale. So unless they take a random 1 week vacation again, but the 26th should be the last one. I'm ready. I hope these last 2 episodes are good. We got will Kanan find out this season that Howard is his father? What's gonna happen?
Yeah.
This war with Unique and Rock's crews is gonna come to a head. Where is everybody gonna stand? Who's alive? Who's dead? There's a lot of things that's gonna be left to sort out.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. This show is good. And then we gonna go right back into Power Book 2 right after this. Like they are doing such a good job with the writings of these shows. I am glad that we are watching and talking with y'all about it because it's lit. Let's just all pray Lulu is alive.
No doubt. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. So yeah, that does it for us. Another episode of Power After Hours in the books. If you came all the way worldwide, thank you for joining us tonight, and keep tapping in with us every week. There is a Power episode. We going live with you. Share this podcast with everyone that you know that loves Power. This is our official Power party. You already know how those vibes go. Follow Power After Hours on all the social media platforms. Subscribe everywhere that you got podcasts. Hit us with your likes. Rate us in whatever app that you want to rate us in. But more importantly, definitely subscribe to the YouTube and definitely share this with people that you know love Power and love talking about Power, because that's what we love to do too. Because y'all make the show what it is. Y'all the fabric of the show. We supply the banter. Y'all supply the commentary. So this is what we love to do, and we love having you join us every week. Chrissy, where can the people find you?
I am everywhere at Chrissy B. Davis, like literally everywhere. If you search it, that's me. What about you, Jeff?
I am at Jeff J Says on all social media. Lock in, tap in. You love these shows. You love pop culture. You love sports. I'm a cool follow to be on. So definitely tap into all of that. You need any of your admin services, brand management, Chrissy B. Davis, INC, LLC, LMNOP got you covered. You already know the vibes. So definitely do that. And thank you once again for joining us. And we will see you next week. Later, y'all.